Season 1, Episodes 1 to 4, titled The Unearthly Child, and this is, of course, the first 4 episodes of classic Doctor Who. And here's the weird thing, right? I think for most people, my experience with Doctor Who has been the Revival series, since 2005 to now. My experience with the classic series hasn't been much. It has been zilch. That's not true. When I was watching the show, I was doing this weird thing where I was catching up while also watching forwards. But I heard there's a classic series, I'll check it out. And first I did check the Propaganda movie. But also, I checked out a John Pertwee story, the Third Doctor. A story called Planet of the Daleks. Now, I don't know if that is as a good story or bad story, somewhere in the middle, but I watched that, and for whatever reason, I just never continued watching the classic series or just going here and there, all that kind of stuff. And I always felt that if I was ever going to check out, rediscover the classic series, it should be fairly enough that I start from episode 1. Start with the first Doctor all the way to the 7th, even 8 if you want to count the movie. And it feels that that's the way to go. Now, people may ask, how are you going to do this, knowing the situation with missing episodes? The way I'm going to do it is that, unless there's an animated recreation, I'm not going to cover the ones with missing episodes. Now, here's the thing. When let's use Marco Polo, for example. If tomorrow the BBC announced, hey, our next animated recreation is going to be Marco Polo. Well, I'm going to, even if I'm on the second Doctor or something, I will go backwards and be like, hey, here's Marco Polo. And that's how I'm going to do it. Go forward, but slightly go backwards when it is needed. Now, what did I thought with the first 4 episodes? Actually, here's the thing, with that first episode, I felt it was really well handled, knowing that the situation that the show has, knowing that they only had a $10 budget per episode. It does fall, from to modern sensibilities, it does fall into heavy exposition. Yes, it falls under showing not telling. But knowing it is a show and an episode from 1960-3, it's really decently written. I mean, the concept is you've got Barbara and Ian, who are 2 teachers, and they have a student named Susan, who is beyond intelligent. And my guess in 1963, the concept of gifted child wasn't a thing. So they're like, what's going on? What's happening? She's good at math. She's, good at history, science. She thinks, it's boring because she's thinking it's not that engaging. Just, ooh, you're able to turn the water into blue. Ooh. That's her mind going out of, looking at a history book. It's that's not why I was there. That's absolutely horrible. So they go to Susan's address, and it's at a junkyard, and they bump into the Doctor, who is her grandfather, played by William Hartnell, and you have this basically giving us all we all know. We know what TARDIS stands for. The police box, the first time that we hear the words, it's bigger than the inside. It's interesting watching the Doctor in that first episode, because I really did enjoy his first episode. It's very joyful and very clear some elements from even that first episode, that first appearance has carry on. But I love how much of a dick he is to Ian. Ian, he's like, this is potches, this is nonsense. Dude, I just explained what it is. Listen, I can show you. No, it must be, this is nonsense. Susan, we're going to take you home and give you some help. This is actually nonsense. Really? Boom. We're in caveman time. You want to do that now? You want to take my granddaughter to a loony bin? You want to do that? Huh? Well, be careful because T-Rexes might bite your head off, because that's the thing. I actually quite like that from the Doctor. I really did. And it's also interesting with the Doctor in the story that he's like, we all know the Doctor as a person who loves humanity, that he loves humanity to heart, and he's always like the white guy to do. He's like, be, that those elements that we know the Doctor to be. But there's certain points in the story, that he just comes across as very like, fuck those people, fuck them. And that felt very like, because it's always interesting, right? Where like what the character is now, at least those elements, and what the character was like at the beginning. It's always interesting. It's like we are, Batman has the I don't kill rule. While if you look at the very first issues, like the first year of Detective Comics, he's murdering people left, right, and center. So it's always interesting watching like a TV show at the beginning and see how the character has. Now with the story itself, like episode 1, as I said, I really enjoy. Episode 2 and 3, I really enjoy. Episode 4 though felt very repetitive because it's the classic thing of, okay, villains that came in who are not actually villains. They're people who are there for survival. It's all about wrap around with fire, and it's like whoever can make fire can be the leader of this tribe. And they're like, hey guys, Doctor, Ian, Barbara, Susan, if any of you guys can make fire, well, please do so. In a more capture will kill you in either way situation, so they, find a way to exit out, and then they get captured again. And it just felt repetitive. It felt not needed. It felt like the events of episode 4 could easily just be 5 minutes for episode 3. Really, I truly do. Where you just have, you shoot the bad guy away, and the 4 of them go back into TARDIS and, hint to the next episode. I mean, that's literally what it is. That's what I felt would be better. Barbara was really well written, or decently written, in the first episode, and then she just became screaming, just like, and then the end, just like, Barbara, everything okay, everything okay, everything okay. Susan also is like that as well. Which Edward's like, who knows the classic series, Edward's like, dude, get used to that. Get used to that a while. That's gonna be a thing. And even like, there's a couple of lines in this that clearly wouldn't fly well in today's context. There was this line where where Ian says to the Doctor, what, you want the women to help? It's like, clearly not. Well, go ahead and help then. Like, that's a line that I'm like, that wouldn't fly well today. That would just make Doctor into a dick, and an unlikable dick in today's standards. But, which is also a fun thing to do, where, like, you play the little game of, like, stuff that wouldn't fly today, or slightly wouldn't fly today. And that, I actually really do enjoy the K-Men. I really enjoyed their whole philosophy of the cave, the dialogue, the acting from them are really well put together. The performances, I mean, Weird Al, of course, is the one that's the standout. But yeah, for first story, for the first 4 episodes, it's well put together. It's really well placed. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one, which is actually, I believe, the next one is the Dalek one, which is kind of interesting to dive into. We have the hello Doctor Who, and then we are up to him meeting his foe, so meeting his Joker. So it's kind of interesting to see that. So yeah,